Welcome to Tammy Nation. Let's go.
I've been running from 9 to 5, been biting my tongue for all this time. Won't let anyone cut me short. I was thinking this was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, I'll be no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hey, Lily J, good to have you here right at the front end of this and not in a recording. So it's good to see you. Hey, you guys, if you haven't noticed already, we already had round one in the speaker vote in House. And they are in recess right now, waiting for round two or word if there's going to be a round two, and if it is, when it is going to be. A couple things I have to say about this. Jordan drew in 200 votes. He was 17 votes short of getting it. Jeffries came in at 212, and then there are 20 that voted for others. And some of the others that were included were Scalise and McCarthy. So I found that pretty interesting. Elise Stepniak came up and nominated Jim Jordan, and then Pete Gaguler, I think is his name. He's a Dem from California, came up and voted for Hakeem Jeffries and nominated him. So we were 200, 212, and 20 because there are 432 members present at this time. So a couple comments on this. I know that over the weekend they were, and Matt Gaetz and a couple others came out and said that they were having the day off, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. They were supposed to stay in. It was their understanding until they got all this taken care of to take the vote for speaker to the floor, which did not happen. But apparently over the weekend, a lot was done behind the scenes as far as phone calls. And Jim Jordan was doing a lot of phone calls to try to get people to vote for him, obviously. So there was a lot of optimism on one side that they would do a one and done this afternoon or today to get Jim Jordan elected as Speaker of the House. That did not happen. However, on the other hand, there were some other representatives that I saw that came out and said that this is far from being done, that even if it takes into the evening, we're prepared to go for this. So also some reps came out and said that behind the scenes, there was a lot of bullying pressure out there to vote for Jordan because he has a big omnibus bill that's out there that's going to provide more funds for Israel and Ukraine. And all these people want to get this done to supplement funds and aid to these countries. And others came out and said, after a private conversation they had with Jim Jordan, that they were really happy and they decided to vote for him. So what does that tell us? That tells us that there are still people that are stuck in the mud that don't want to vote for Jordan, that don't want to be bullied or pressured into it, and they don't want this big omnibus bill to be brought up, which is the first call of duty that they are going to do. Jim Jordan said that. So did Scalise when Scalise was up and running for it and nominated, right? So there's a lot going on behind the scenes now. And we have to remember something. Yes, we want the party unified. Yes, we want a speaker. Yes, it's been 2 weeks. But the thing is, we have to remember, even if Jordan is the best pick, maybe there's lessons to be learned right now, because how do we get to this state that there's only one person and that they think that is going to be able to pull this through and get this done? Shouldn't we have a lot more that are in office that could be nominated and get the job done? Basically, a lot of the talk today that I saw in and out of work today when I was checking in was that they say Jordan's the only one. If Jordan can't do it, there's nobody else to do it. So is that really true? Or is that just pressure that they're putting out there so all of us end up in a panic and frustrated and upset? And yeah, I think Jordan's a good guy and stuff, but don't forget, I mean, we're still going to face issues with Jim Jordan. There's a lot of different issues that he's tackled out there that have been really really good, yes, but there's also some people weren't very happy with either. So if we had used guilt or urgency or other non-pro United States of America issues coming in to apply us to pressure to get a speaker, I don't think that's fair or just either. We don't want those big bills. These Congress members and these members know we don't want these big bills. We want single bills to be able to be voted on and dealt with, because we don't want all this other crap packaged in just to get something passed. And that's how they say they're unifying people, the Dems and the Republicans, because the people that want all this spending and funding to go to Ukraine, which they've already want more over there, is in these bills, and that's how they make peace. And I just don't believe when you put other countries ahead of the United States of America, your own country, that's creating peace and that's unifying the country. Basically, you're being puppets. You're being bought and sold and paid for your vote, depending on what's in that bill and what you agree with or what you don't. And I don't think it's really fair, in my opinion, to tackle Israel and Ukraine in the same thing. They're two different situations. And you know, people aren't real happy about us, obviously, in Ukraine and supporting Israel. Yes, we want to support Israel, but there are many, many things, as you guys know, that we're facing here in the United States that need to be taken care of. And what I don't understand is, how is there so much spending that can go to other countries and funds for other countries when we can't take care of our own country here? So there's just some issues going back and forth, and the pressure of the, you know, shutdown looming November 17th is around, so people aren't happy with that. You know, how did we get to this point is what I'm trying to say. So we just got to live and learn. You know what I mean? Hopefully we're learning lessons with this and realizing this is the other thing. If you didn't catch, Biden's in Israel at this point. He went over there and he stepped off the plane. He started stumbling around once again, making a buffoon of a representative of this country. He is no leader by any way, shape, or form. He had 3 or 4 different people telling him what to do, basically where you step, how you step, should you stop, because he got off the plane and he got down off the landing on the carpet and he said, okay, what do I do now? So basically, what is our leader, commander-in-chief doing there? He's trying to find out what Israel needs, what more they need from us, how we can support them, and to show our support. And like I said, you know what? I'm not about not supporting them, but how about our leader and commander-in-chief? Shouldn't he be in Congress trying to unify them? He hasn't made a visit there. He hasn't made a stop there. We have all this going on in the House, all this going on with no speaker. We've got WW3, so to speak, looming, and he's over there instead of being here taking care of it. I think that he should be laying out a plan for Israel and Ukraine, because nobody is going to support endless years of war. We want a game plan. And it seems like basically what we're doing is we're going in and we're getting involved in our nose in haphazardly. There's not been a plan laid out or a timeline laid out, about amount of funds laid out, what we're going to do, what we're not going to do. We, the American people, don't even know. And he's over there. So I'm saying, how do you not lay out a plan? Because if we just keep feeding dollars or we feed equipment, but there's never a plan, we're just, you know, piecemealing it over there. And the people that have a stake in this, which is we, the United States of America, and we have our military over there, I, for one, would want to know, how long are they going to be there? What are they doing? How long will it be? What is the plan for the U.S. and as far as Ukraine and Israel? What is the plan? Don't just start shooting stuff over there, taking people over there, bit piecing this and that. So there's no unifying even with this that's going on that our leader is doing. We have 25,000 combat troops deployed over there right now. So that's a lot already. So, hey, Larry P., good to see you. But we keep sending money over there and we don't want long wars. We don't want no involvement with no long-term plan. What is the long-term plan here? So I just have a lot of questions. And with everything that's going here in with the House GOP and for speaker, and then he's over there just fumbling around, it's just an embarrassment, if you ask me. It's terrible. So we'll see what happens. I don't know when the next vote's going to be, if it's going to be, because like I said, everybody was so assured as far as the House Speaker that they were going to get it in one and done, hopefully maybe 2 or 3 rounds, and we'll see what happens with that. Also out there, if you guys haven't seen, in Dallas, Texas, there was a massive pro-Palestine protest breaking out. So to me, that's another, we've seen that in our streets in a lot of our cities, New York, Chicago, in Michigan. And I believe that Biden should be here taking care of that, or giving the order to take care of that. Because anybody that, to me, that is pro Hamas and all the atrocities that are going on should be gently exported out of this country. Why are we allowing that to happen here? It is very frustrating. And there's no control inside of our own borders with all this going on. Nobody really feels that safe. Nobody feels content in government. Then we've got, everybody in Congress saying, we need a speaker, we're going to have shut down. We have all this chaos going on. Why is he over there? So, great leaders, when there's times of trouble like this, try to give us calm and unify us, don't they? They do not spend their time, effort, and energy either taking days off or, waiting 72 hours like Biden did before he came out and said anything about the Israel and the conflict in Gaza and all that going on. He waited 72 hours because he was having a barbecue and something else. Yeah, there was phone calls that were made here and there, but he was not front and center behind that podium as the leader and unifier of this country, as a strong leader. And that's where everybody has problems, because right now I think that we are the most frail and fragile and weakest that we've been in a very long time. And the other thing is, we keep sending money overseas and to help people out. What that does is weaken us. We keep getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And what's going to happen is we're not going to have the funds or the abilities or the manpower to be able to fund ourselves, to protect ourselves in our homeland, or the equipment, or to keep the equipment up should we need that. God forbid that we need it. But that's something you have to pay attention to. Anytime you show your belly, you're vulnerable. And we are showing our belly big time with everybody that is here in our country, on our land, that are illegals, and these men, these young aged men. And we're bleeding money profusely from our artery or jugular, and it just seems like it never goes to help us out. And not only are we insecure and not safe out there in the world from what possibilities are coming, is also inside of our own boundaries and our own borders. I don't feel safe. People don't feel safe. And we've been talking about this for a very long time. So, there's just so much going on, and it can be very stressful and everything else. Lily J. Oh, thanks, Redhausen. You can go ahead and do that. Lily J, we need to take our country close all borders and ship these people back to their country and keep our country. Exactly. Because doesn't it feel like it's a free for all? And there's a bottomless pit of money that supposedly that we have. However, we aren't even be able to control our own inflation here. We aren't able to help our own people out. And we've gone over this again and again and again, almost laying on deaf ears. So now what's happening is we've got Congress going in, and they're behind closed doors again, pushing, shoving, jousting around to see, hey, can we get like 17 more votes for Jordan to get him secured so we can go business as usual. Well, I don't know about you, but business as usual is not what we want. I believe we want a lot of things to change. We want America first. We want to take care of our own. We want those dang borders shut. I mean, how ridiculous is it that they've never shut them? And then you've got these sanctuary cities, these leaders that said, we're proud to be sanctuary cities, now calling for help because they cannot house, help, or sustain all these people that are here. If you look at the videos that are running across social medias, you see these people are taking over hotels. They're taking over senior homes, senior apartment complexes across the country. We've also got different base camp, military style bases that are coming up that we're pouring millions in to house these people. And like I said, it's not America first in any way. So it's just very troubling a lot. Also, this was coming out because why we're paying attention to Israel and stuff. Not that we shouldn't, but this is the thing. When we're paying attention to one thing and it's all that, we seem to drop and forget the other things going on in this world. And we can't do that. It's almost like intentional. It's almost like people want to say you're a bad person if you're not paying attention just to Israel and Ukraine and the bad things happening to these people. That's not true. We're able to take care and pay attention to everything going on all across the board, as we should. We're Americans. We're intelligent, we're bright, and we have strength and stamina, so we can handle all of it. So don't fall for just Israel all over and over, because like I said, the border situation is still a massive wound that is not healed at all. It's not even starting to scab over because people are just pouring in still. But the other thing that's going out like I said, are these different pro-Palestine protests that are going on across the country, on and off. They're popping up. This one that I saw in Dallas is a massive one, it seems to be. And like I said, some of this stuff, these people that are pro, the very people that we are trying to assist so it doesn't happen with Israel, are here saying we are for that. We are for that. Why are they here? Why are we allowing them to stay here? That's very troubling to me. It's not the innocent people. Let's not get it twisted. It's not the innocent people that are here for safety that I'm concerned about. It's the ones that are calling for jihad on the ground that were called the other day, the ones that are pro Hamas. Because what's happening, these people will not stop, because it is their belief and their livelihood that this has to be their way for their belief, for Jews and the Americans and everybody to be taken down so they can rule, and their belief, their religious belief sustains all across the world. And that's what's troubling to me. They're right inside here, verbalizing it out in our own cities. And we know that we could never do that in their countries, nor would we want to. So that's troubling right there as well. Also, the other thing that came out, the reason I say pay attention is because Hunter Biden, the gun charges that were brought up against him were dropped when we weren't paying attention too much, but that slipped in and out. So poof, it's all gone for Hunter Biden. The charges, remember, that he was facing included him breaking the federal gun laws while he was abusing drugs and lying on applications. But by the way, did we ever find out where that white stuff from the White House was and whose it was? Even though now he's innocent, they're not saying innocent. They're letting him off the hook. They said all the charges are dropped. Everything's gone. It's wiped out. So yet this white stuff that we all know what it is showed up in the White House. And whose was it? We don't even have answers on that. Where did it come from? Who was it? How much was in there? It just kind of disappeared and went away, just like these charges for Hunter Biden. Why? Because we're paying attention over here. They're getting us riled up in so many things. So that's another thing. We just have to make sure that we stay out of our emotion for it and try to pull back and think logically and try to just wrap our heads around what's going on and why, and then making educated decisions from that point on. The other thing that came out, Dan Bongino did a couple shows on this, but Merrick Garland announced a new Office of Environmental Justice, and they have a truth ministry as well. And it's all under the Department of Justice. And you ask yourself, why is it coming up, these special little things, offices, these justice offices, right? These truth ministries, why are they coming up under the Department of Justice, the DOJ? Well, why? Because they have something that others don't. And you may know what that is. What does the DOJ have? They have subpoena power. So that means, in theory, yet truth, part of it, that if they don't agree or like how you're running your business, or maybe your airlines, whatever it is, they can issue subpoenas to get your records and have you shut down if they don't agree, if they don't like your environmental policies. Or what if your business plan leaked, whether it's a new business plan or it's a business plan that you've had all along, and they don't agree and they get wind of it because it's leaked, right? Because we know how things leak, and they don't approve of it, they can shut you down. They have subpoena power to be able to do that. So while we're paying attention over here, because there's always stuff going on over here, so we don't pay attention to what's happening in our own homeland at this point. So Merrick Garland came out and was really happy and proud about that. I'm not thrilled with that at all, because we hope that it's for the good, but it's not for the good. It's the new Office of Environmental Justice. What does that sound like to you? So if you haven't seen it, you can Google Merrick Garland announced the new Office of Environmental Justice, and you'll be able to watch him speak about it and his comments about that and exactly what's going to happen with that. The other thing that came out as well, you guys, was a gag order was put on Trump by Tanya Chutkan, the Democratic judge, silencing his First Amendment regarding the federal election case. She said this case is not about the court of public opinion, yet the media is allowed in court. The media is allowed to craft their headlines and their stories about this. And if public opinion doesn't matter and President Trump is silenced, I mean, he can speak about Biden's administration and a couple other things, but Trump should be able to defend himself from these headlines and stories. Why is this judge trying to gag put a gag order on him, or did silence him and commenting about certain things, but allowing media to be in that courtroom to write whatever headlines and stories that they want, because we know it's not going to be Trump. It's not going to be fair. It's going to be lopsided. So she's silencing him. He is also a presidential candidate, actually the lead for the GOP, and they're trying to silence him every way. He said he has like 8 court cases, I believe, active court cases going against him, trying to derail him and stop him from running in 24. And he said it's not going to happen. It's just really sickening to me, and it's quite obvious. You don't even have to notice politics or know anything about anything to see that if a judge is allowing media and everything else in the courtroom to write and do whatever they want, but the person who is being charged has a gag order and is not allowed to speak, what that's telling you, right? You don't have to know about politics. You can pretty much see in black and white what is happening. So Trump said he's going to appeal this ruling. And he is not, so he's going to appeal that. So it's just another court case. Then the irony of all this too, while they're gagging him and telling him not to talk, Jack Smith is hiding the names of his prosecutors trying to jail Trump in a violation of the federal FOIA law, which is the Freedom of Information Act law. So Jack Smith is still hiding the names of his prosecutors in violation of the Freedom of Information Act. He refuses to release the names of his team members, and they are certainly probably all Dems. We're not knowing for sure, but there's no integrity and honor with him and what's going on. And Tom Fitton and Judicial Watch sued Biden's DOJ, if you don't remember, to obtain the names of the Dems who are members of Jack Smith's special counsel. But Jack Smith still refused to release any of the names, and these are the ones that are trying to jail Trump. So it is a violation of the Freedom of Information Act law, and it's serious. So this isn't the first time that Trump's been a target of a special counsel and of Dem lawyers. This isn't the first time. Like I said, he's got like 8 different cases that are out there. So I find that interesting. They should be going after him. I mean, was the president of the United States. This is the leader for 2024 for the Republicans. And yet they're suppressing and not forcing Jack Smith to release this. So obviously that's something that is a legality that's going to have to be taken care of as well. So like I said, there's just so much stuff that's going on. To try to keep up has been interesting. Things do change moment to moment. Hey, Kim Ellen, it's good to see you as well. But that's a lot of the headlines that are going on now. So like I said, going back to the House Speaker, the vote on the floor, if you're just joining me, Jordan got 200 votes. He was 17 votes shy. Hakeem Jeffries got 212, and then others got 20. So out of those others, I don't have the exact names of who voted what, but it only would have taken 17 of them to be able to put that vote in for Jordan, which, like I said, this weekend, if you guys watch the interviews with the different representatives, or even today, there were phone calls being made left and right. Jordan was making a lot of them, trying to try to find peace and try to make an agreement with people so they could vote for him and they could just get this moved on and dealt with today. Now the consensus is maybe it's going to take 2 or 3 votes, or maybe it's going to go into the evening. And actually, the thing that I've noticed, not one person has come out and named anybody else that would be able to do this job and unify this House and be the House Speaker and take care of this business. And everybody is saying that basically Jim Jordan is the one that can do this. Now, as far as the Dems voting for Hakeem Jeffries, I get that, but that just came out of nowhere. It's not like anybody saying, yeah, that guy can do it. He's going to be a great speaker. So this could get very interesting, because also the other statement that was made by a lot of so-called specialists on this kind of thing is saying, once you get to the second vote, third vote, and so on, more and more will vote no. More and more vote no. That usually your first vote is the most votes that you're going to get. It depends on who you believe. It depends, because this is the first time in history this has happened like this. Like I said, McCarthy took 15 rounds. What did he last? 200 and some days, 262 or 290 some days. He's out. It was good to see Pelosi. You guys see Pelosi on the floor? I don't know why Pelosi was on the floor, but Pelosi was there. It was very interesting to watch and sad too, because some of these 20, I believe that they had in the bag, and they were going to have Jim Jordan as the House Speaker after one vote, and that did not happen. So with that, that's about all I have for this round, you guys. I'm just going to stay on top of this, and I will come back on once we find out more about the vote for speaker. If it happens, I'm just going to go ahead and wait till after so I can talk about it, because really being on during it doesn't make any sense, because this is an hour, 2 hours already. This could wait, and it could be in recess until this evening sometime. So I'll just come on after, and then we can have another chat about it and see what's going on. But other than that, thank you guys so much for stopping by, and we'll see what happens later on in the day or this afternoon. And hopefully it's a good thing, you guys. Hopefully it's a good thing. So love you all. Take care. And I will talk to you later on this afternoon. Bye-bye.